Yes, we are going to start with the 10.2. Give me a minute. Yes, 10.2 deals with the calculus with parametric curves. A few results you have to memorize. The first one is y prime is equal to dy over dx, which is the same as dy over dt divided by dx over dt. So x and y are functions of t. So first you find dy over dt, then find dx over dt, then divide dy over dt by dx over dt. D square y over dx square is equal to dy prime divided by dt whole divided by dx over dt. So first you find y prime, which is the same as dy over dx. Then differentiate with respect to t, divide the whole expression by dx over dt. To find the equation of a tangent line at a given point, first step is find the slope m is equal to dy over dx at t is equal to t0, means the given point. Then you find x0 and y0 by substituting t is equal to t0 in x and y. Equation of the tangent line is y minus y0 is equal to m times x minus x0. The tangent line is horizontal if the numerator dy over dt is equal to 0, and the tangent line is vertical if the denominator dx over dt is equal to 0. If x is equal to ft and y is equal to gt, then the area below the curve and above the x-axis and between x is equal to a and x is equal to b is given by integral a to b y dx. That is the same as integral a to b gt f prime t dt. Next result, 7. Arc length from t is equal to alpha to t is equal to beta is given by L is equal to integral alpha to beta dx over dt the whole square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square dt. Surface area of revolution. If the curve revolves about the x-axis, the surface area is integral t varies from alpha to beta 2 pi y times square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square dt. If the curve revolves about the y-axis, it becomes, you have to interchange x and y. So surface area is alpha to beta, integral alpha to beta 2 pi x times square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square dt. This first example is question number 2 from the textbook. Find dy over dx given x is equal to t e to the t and y is equal to t plus sine t. It's a very easy question. First you find dx over dt. That is a product rule. First function times derivative of the second t e to the t plus second function times derivative of the first e to the t times 1. Factor out e to the t, you get e to the t times t plus 1. Y is t plus sine t, so dy over dt is 1 plus cos t. And now use the formula dy over dx is equal to dy over dt divided by dx over dt, that is 1 plus cos t divided by e to the t times t plus 1. Question number 4. X is equal to square root of t and y is equal to t square minus 2t. Find the equation of the tangent line at t is equal to 4. Answer. At t is equal to 4, x is square root of 4, that is 2, and y is 4 square minus 2 times 4, that is 8. So x0, y0 or x1, y1, you may, whatever be the symbol, you may use it. So that point is 2, 8. And now you find dy over dt. Dy over dt is 2t minus 2, that is equal to 2 times 4 because t is 4. 2 times 4 minus 2, that is 8 minus 2, which is 6, that t is equal to 4. Dy over dt that is dy over dt, and here it is dx over dt. You have to correct that. This is dx over dt. Dx over dt is 1 over 2 times square root of 2. That is 1 over 2 times square root of 4. T is 4. That is 1 over 4 at t is equal to 4. Therefore, the slope dy over dx is dy over dt divided by dx over dt. That is 6 divided by 1/4. That is 6 times 4th, which is 24. So the slope is 24. Equation of the tangent line is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. That is y minus 8, because point is 2, 8. Y minus 8 is equal to 24 times x minus 2. That is y minus 8 is equal to 24x minus 48. You add 8 on both sides, you get y is equal to 24x minus 40. That is the equation of the tangent line at the given point. Number 6. X is equal to e to the t sine pi t, y is equal to e to the 2t, at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, x is 0 because sine 0 is 0, and y is 1 because e to the 0 is 1. So the point is 0, 1. dy over dt is equal to 2e to the 2t. And now replace t by 0, so that is 2e to the 0, which is equal to 2. Dx over dt, again I wrote dy over dt. This must be dx over dt. Dx over dt is equal to e to the t times cos pi t times pi. That is chain rule. Plus sine pi t times e to the t. So you applied the product rule. Replace t by 0. Cos 0 is 1. E to the 0 is 1. So the first part is a pi. Second part is 0. And so the answer is pi, because sine 0 is 0. Then slope is equal to dy over dt divided by dx over dt. Remember, the second one is dx over dt. So that is 2 over pi. So equation is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. That is y minus 1. Point is 0, 1. Y minus 1 is equal to 2 over pi times x, which is 2 over pi x. Y is equal to 2 over pi x plus 1. Question number 8. X is equal to 1 plus square root of t, y is equal to e to the t square at the point 2e. In this case, point is given. So x is 2 and y is e. So you have to figure out what t is. So at 2e, 1 plus square root of t is equal to 2 and t square is equal to 1. E to the t square is e means t square is equal to 1. So t must be equal to 1. dy over dt is e to the t square times 2t. T is 1. So that is 2 times 1 times e to the 1 square, that is 2e. Dx over dt is 1 over 2 times square root of t, which is 1 over 2 times square root of 1, but that is 1/2. Therefore, dy over dx is 2e divided by dy over dt, that is 2e. 2e divided by 1/2, that is equal to 2e times 2 over 1, which is 4e. So the slope is 4e. Equation of the tangent line y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. That implies y minus e. y1 is e and x1 is 2. So 4e times x minus 2. That is y minus e is equal to 4ex minus 8e, and you add e on both sides. You get y is equal to 4ex minus 7e. Number 10. X is equal to sine pi t, y is equal to t square plus t at 0, 2. As in the previous case, find the value of t. Sine pi t is 0, means t is t is 1 because sine pi is 0. Sine pi is 0 and t squared plus t is equal to 2. So t must be equal to 1. And so at t 0 to t is equal to 1, dy over dt is equal to 2t plus 1, differentiate t squared plus t. That is equal to t is 1, 2 plus 1, which is 3, and dx over dt is pi times cos pi t. Derivative of sine pi t is cos pi t times pi, and t is 1, so that is pi times cos pi. Cos pi is negative 1, so answer is negative pi at t is equal to 1. Therefore, the slope y dy over dx is equal to dy over dt divided by dx over dt, which is 3 over negative pi. That is negative 3 over pi. And so the equation is, this is the y-intercept. So y is equal to mx plus b. You may use the other formula also, but still you get the same answer. Y is equal to minus 3 over pi plus 2. Number 12. Find dy over dx and d square y over dx square. X is equal to t cubed plus 1 and y is equal to t square minus t. dy over dt is 2t minus 1. Dx over dt is 3t square. So dy over dx, which is the same as y prime, is equal to dy over dt divided by dx over dt. That is equal to 2t minus 1 divided by 3t square. When you split it, you get 2t divided by 3t square, which is 2 over 3t, minus 1 over 3t square, just for the sake of convenience in differentiating. So dy prime over dt is equal to minus 2 divided by 3t square, because derivative of 1 over t is negative 1 over t square, minus minus. So that's a plus 2 over 3t cubed. If you do not remember the formula, write this as 2 over 3 t to the negative 1. Second one as 1 over 3 t to the negative 2, and apply the power rule. You get this answer, 2 minus 2t divided by, you need a common denominator here. So if you, I did not write that. So you multiply this term by t over t. So it becomes minus 2t. So it is 2 minus 2t divided by 3t cubed. Therefore, d square y over dt square is equal to dy prime over dt divided by dx over dt. That is equal to 2 minus 2t divided by 3t cubed divided by 3t square over 1. That is equal to 2 times 1 minus t over 3t cubed times 1 over 3t square, and that is equal to 2 times 1 minus t divided by 9 t to the 5. Now there was a second part of the question. Find the interval in which the curve is concave up. Concave up means second derivative must be positive. So you prepare a table here. So critical numbers are 0 and 1. T is equal to 1. Numerator is 1 minus t, 2 times 1 minus t. When you set the numerator equal to 0, you get t is equal to 1. When you set the denominator equal to 0, you get t is equal to 0. So the critical numbers are 0 and 1. So draw a number line and mark 0 and 1. Find the sign of d square y over dx square in each interval. In the first interval, you pick a number below 0. So it is going to be a negative, because say for example, if it is negative 1, 1 minus negative 1, which is positive, 2, positive, divided by negative 1 to the 5, which is negative. And in the middle, that is, if you pick a number between 0 and 1, then it is positive. And if you pick a number above 1, it is going to be negative. Another way to find that is, you simply draw this graph on your calculator. So y is equal to 2 times 1 minus x divided by 9t to the 5. Remember, the whole denominator must be in parentheses. 9x to the 5. 9x to the 5. Graph it. Yeah, I think you have to set the window. Let it be from negative 4 to positive 4. And let us see how the graph looks like. See, it is positive between 0 and 1. So the graph is above the y-axis between 0 and 1. So this is 1. And so that is another way to find it. So it is open interval 0 to 1. Number 14. Here also the question is x and y are given. You have to find the interval in which the curve is concave up or concave down, whatever it is. So dy x is t square plus 1, y is e to the t minus 1. dy over dt is e to the t minus 0. That is e to the t. dx over dt is 2t plus 0. That is 2t. So dy over dx is dy over dt divided by dx over dt. That is e to the t divided by 2t. dy prime over dt, apply the quotient rule, 2t times derivative of the numerator, e to the t minus e to the t times 2 whole divided by square of the denominator, 4t square. That is, pull out a 2 e to the t from the numerator, 2 e to the t times t minus 1 divided by 4t square. 2 goes into 4 2 times. And so that is equal to e to the t times t minus 1 over 2t square. That is it. So d square y over dx square is dy prime over dt divided by dx over dt. So that is the whole expression divided by 2t. And it becomes e to the t times t minus 1 in the numerator, 4t cubed in the denominator. You have 2t square times 2t, that is 4t cubed in the denominator. Y double prime is positive when t is less than 0 or t is greater than 1. See here, you draw a number line. Critical numbers are 0 and 1. And then you see when it is positive, when t is less than 0 or t is greater than 1. This is going to be, let us draw the graph and see, make sure that it is right. This is e to the t times t minus 1, e to the x times x minus 1 divided by 4x cubed. So if it is, yeah, we will change the window a little bit to make sure that you can see it. So if it is less than 0, negative, or greater than 1, this is 1. Greater than 1, it is positive. So less than t is less than 0 or t is greater than 1. Number 16. X is equal to cos t. Y is equal to sin 2t. T varies from 0 to pi. dy over dt is equal to 2 cos 2t, because derivative of sine function is cosine function. That is cos 2t times 2. dx over dt is negative sine t. Therefore, dy over dx is equal to dy over dt, that is 2 cos 2t, divided by negative sine t. So it becomes negative 2 cos 2t over sine t. dy prime over dt, you have to use the quotient rule. So negative 2 is pulled out. Sine t times negative sine 2t times 2 minus derivative of the denominator, numerator times the derivative of the denominator, cos 2t times cos t divided by sine square t, that is 2 times, because there is already a negative here, negative 2, you distribute that, or you don't have to distribute, just distribute the negative sign alone. So 2 times 2 sine t sine 2t plus cos t cos 2t divided by sine square t, because both the terms are negatives. And so d square y over dx square is dy prime over dt divided by dx over dt, that is 2 times 2 sine t sine 2t plus cos t cos 2t divided by sine square t, or divided by negative sine t, and so it becomes negative sine t. So the whole thing is negative 2 times 2 sine t sine 2t plus cos t cos 2t divided by sine cubed t. So that is the answer. This is the answer. And I have simplified it a little bit by applying the double angle identity, because you may simplify further. So when you apply the double angle identity, you get sine 2t is 2 sine t cos t, and cos 2t is 1 minus 2 sine square t. And so this is equal to minus 2 cos t is common factor here, cos t times 4 sine square t plus 1 minus 2 sine square t, and that combined like terms, this is negative 2 cos t over sine t times 4 sine square t plus 1 minus 2 sine square t over sine square t, that is negative 2 cotangent t, and here the numerator is 2 sine square t plus 1 divided by sine square t. But you may stop here, there is nothing wrong in stopping at that point. But if you want to see that your answer agrees with the answer at the end of the book, you have to simplify further. And again, you can use the graph to see when the whole expression is positive. So concave up if t lies between pi over 2 and pi, because 2 sine square t plus 1 divided by sine square t is positive always. Cotangent t is negative. The reason is t is in the second quadrant, t lies between, here it is given, t lies between, where is the question, 0 and pi. T lies between 0 and pi means it is in the second quadrant where cotangent is negative. So negative 2 times a negative number is positive. So it is concave up when t lies between pi over 2 and pi. T lies between pi over 2 and pi. Because cotangent is negative between pi over 2 and pi. Number 18. Find the points on the curve where the tangent line is horizontal or vertical. X is equal to t cubed minus 3t, y is equal to t cubed minus 3t square. So slope is equal to dy over dx, that is dy over dt, divided by dx over dt. Slope is 0 if the numerator is 0, that is horizontal, and the slope is undefined if the denominator is 0. So dy over dt is equal to 0 implies 3t square minus 6t is equal to 0, that is 3t times t minus 2 is equal to 0. So t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 2. T is equal to 0 means x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. You substitute t is equal to 0 here. X is equal to 0 cubed minus 3 times 0. Y is equal to 0 cubed minus 3 times t square, 0 square. So that is 0. So the point is 0, 0. When t is equal to 2, you substitute t is equal to 2 here. It is going to be 8 minus 6, which is 2. And y, you simplify y will be negative 4. So that point is tangents are horizontal at 0, 0 and to negative 4. And similarly, set dx over dt is equal to 0. Dx over dt is equal to 0 means 3t square minus, where is x? X is t cubed minus 3t. So 3t square minus 3. 3t square minus 3 is equal to 0. That is 3 times t square minus 1 is 0. That is 3 times t plus 1 times t minus 1 is equal to 0. That is t is equal to either plus 1 or minus 1. T is equal to plus 1 implies x is equal to negative 2. Just to substitute, t is equal to 1. So when you substitute here, this is 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. And t is equal to negative 1 implies x is equal to 2 and y is equal to negative 4. You simply substitute and see it. And so the points are negative 2, negative 2 and 2, negative 4. Tangents are vertical at those 2 points. Number 32. Find the area enclosed by the curve x is equal to t square minus 2t and y is equal to square root of t and the y-axis. So the graph looks like this. You may see how the graph looks like. Keep the calculator. In the parametric mode, x is equal to t square minus 2t. X is t square minus 2t. Y is square root of t. This is the graph. And this point is t is equal to, so let me see the window. Y scale must be 1. Okay, so let us see the graph. So that is t is equal to 2. And t is equal to 2. Y is, yeah, x is 0. Y-axis is x is equal to 0. So when you set x is equal to 0, t square minus 2t is 0. That is t times t minus 2 is equal to 0, means t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 2. This is not y, t is equal to 2. This point t is 2. And now it is revolving about the y-axis. So length of one strip, this strip, we are talking about this strip. Length of that strip is negative x because it is in the second quadrant, which is 2t minus t square. Because here x is negative, so when we say length, it must be positive. That is why we changed it. Otherwise, when you calculate the area, you get a negative answer. Then you find the absolute value. That's another way to get it. So length of the strip is negative x. That is 2t minus t square. Area is integral t varies from 0 to 2, 2t minus t square. That is the length, and dy, and dy is 1 over 2 times square root of t dt. That is integral x dy. That is a formula, but in this case x is negative, so you change the sign. So formula is integral x dy. So 1/2 times t divided by square root of t is 2 to the 1/2. T square divided by square root of t is t to the 2 minus 1/2, that is 3. So this is 1/2 is 0 to 2t 2 times. Yeah, this 1/2 is pulled out. That's the reason. This 1/2 is pulled out. So it is 1/2 times 2t to the 1/2 minus t to the 3/2. That is 1/2 times 2t to the 3/2 over 3/2 minus t to the 5/2 over 5/2. You substitute the limits. 1/2 times 4 over 3 times. When you substitute the upper limit, you get 2 to the power of 3/2 minus 2 over 5 times 2 to the power of 5/2, lower limit 0, and simplify it, and finally you get 8 times square root of 2 over 50. So there is a little bit arithmetic involved there. Please make sure that you understand it. So square root of 2, you may pull out the square root of 2 if you want, and then simplify using the calculator. You get 8 square root of 2 divided by 50. Next, find the exact arc length. This is a formula for, you have to use a formula for the arc length. X is equal to e to the t minus t, y is equal to 4 e to the t over 2. T varies from 0 to 2. And you know the formula for the arc length is integral a to alpha to beta square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square. So you have to calculate dx over dt first. Dx over dt is e to the t minus 1. Dy over dt is 4 e to the t over 2 times 1/2, chain rule. That is 2 e to the t over 2. And so dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square is equal to e to the t minus 1 the whole square plus 4 e to the t. Square of 2 is 4 and the square of e to the t over 2 is e to the t. And you FOIL this e to the t minus 1 the whole square. If you remember the formula for the a minus b the whole square, use that. Otherwise, what you have to do is FOIL e to the t minus 1 times e to the t minus 1, and then FOIL and combine like terms. You get e to the 2t minus 2 e to the t plus 1 plus 4 e to the t, and combine like terms. 4 e to the t minus 2 e to the t is 2 e to the t. So it is e to the t plus 1 the whole square. This is factorable, that is e to the t plus 1 the whole square. So square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square is the square root of this expression, which is e to the t plus 1. The rest is easy, but the algebra is the only difficult part. Calculus is easy. So arc length is integral alpha to beta or a to b square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square dt, that is integral 0 to 2 e to the t plus 1, this is e to the t plus 1 dt, that is e to the t plus t, and the derivative of e to the t is e to the t, and the derivative of 1 is t, so e to the t plus t from 0 to 2. When you substitute the upper limit, you get e to the 2 plus 2. When you substitute the lower limit, you get e to the 0 plus 0. So e to the 0 is 1. So e to the 2 plus 2 minus 1, which is e to the 2 plus 1. Number 48. Find the length of the loop of the curve x is equal to 3t minus t cubed, y is equal to 3t squared. And first step, you draw this curve and see how it looks like. Y is equal to, x is equal to, clear it, x is equal to 3t minus t cubed y is equal to 3t square. Oh, you have to change the window. You have to use some negative value and some positive value for t. Negative 10 to 10 will be okay. And 0.1. And then negative 4 to 4. Oh, it's not enough. Okay, so that is the curve. This is the curve. Now we are going to find the arc length of one of the loops. So this is the loop. So you need to find this point and this point. So for that, equation of y-axis is x is equal to 0. So you set x is equal to 0. Means 3t minus t cubed is equal to 0. That is t times 3 minus t square is equal to 0. That is t is equal to 0 or plus or minus square root of 3. And so dx of, see, you point the, look at the graph again. Second trace y value, y is equal to plus or minus square root of 3. Value square root of 3. See, this is the point. Again, negative square root of 3. Second trace, negative value, negative square root of 3. It's the same point. So that is plus or minus square root of 3 is that point. Okay, so now you have to find dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square. That is equal to dx over dt is 3 minus 3t square the whole square plus dy over dt is 6t the whole square. So this is 9 minus 18t square plus 9t to the 4. A minus b the whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square plus 36t square. Combine like terms, you get 9t to the 4 plus 18t square plus 9. That is the same as 3t square plus 3 the whole square. So square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square is 3t square plus 3. So the algebra part is the difficult one. Now you integrate this. The arc length is integral a to b square root of dx over dt the whole square plus dy over dt the whole square dt. That is 3t square plus 3 dt from negative 3 to 3. So this is just 0. You are asked to find the complete. If you take 0 to square root of 3, you get only 1/2. It is actually from negative square root of 3 plus to positive square root of 3. And integrate 3t cubed over 3 plus 3t square, 3t, because it is just a 3. 3 cancels, so that is t cubed plus 3t. You substitute square root of 3, square root of 3, the whole cubed plus 3 times square root of 3 minus negative square root of 3 the whole square minus 3 times square root of 3 because t is negative. So that is equal to, this is 2 times 3 square root of 3. Here also there is a 3 square root of 3. And so 2 times 3 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 3. That is 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 2s are 12. 12 square root of 3. Yes, that is the end of that section. I know some of those problems are a little difficult. Please practice it. as much as possible and then do the homework assignment. And if you have questions, as I mentioned earlier, come to the tutoring. I haven't seen you, most of you, for several days in the tutoring, online tutoring. I highly recommend you to come to the online tutoring. That is how I understand that you guys are participating in the course. So there is no way to know whether you are watching the video or you are doing the homework. So please come to the online tutoring. That brings you extra credit also. But now you won't get the full extra credit because nearly 4 weeks are over. No, exactly 4 weeks are over. We are going to start with the week 5 on Monday. Okay. Okay. That's all.